Well, there's been reaction coming through from various parts of Africa to those attacks. Also, some Kenyans living in Hillbrow here in South Africa have been talking about that today. We cross now live to Uganda. Our correspondent standing by for us is Leon Ssenyange to get comments from him on the attack in Kenya. Leon, good evening to you. How closely are people there watching that situation in Kenya tonight?
Well, good evening, Steve. Suddenly in Uganda here, that news, of course, comes with great shock. Not the kind that people are quite much expected, and not even still any that they should be expecting at this point in time. Several Ugandans have taken to social media to offer their sympathies and prayers to the victims, who they very much consider brothers and sisters from Kenya. So suddenly, it's not just a sad day in Kenya, but very much so a very sad day even in neighboring Uganda. So of course, we even still expect some comments or even a statement coming through from the Ugandan government in itself. That should be in the next few hours or even probably on Wednesday to ascertain the fact that definitely they are sharing in the pain here, they're sharing in the situation, and they'll do as much to ensure that they support the brothers and sisters from Kenya.
From the information that we have at the moment, and of course there'll be different views on all of this, Leon, but it looks like this has come from Al-Shabaab. They've claimed responsibility for this attack in Kenya. They're based primarily in Somalia. Uganda has a military presence in Somalia as well as part of a peacekeeping force. Are Ugandans worried that something could happen there following what happened in Kenya?
Well, of course, the situation in Kenya in itself sends a shockwave to Uganda. Definitely any Ugandan, wherever they are, should be concerned of the fact that such occurrence can actually happen in Uganda. Of course, the Al-Shabaab have been the center point of the terrorism acts within the region. In Uganda itself has suffered in 2010 during the final of the World Cup. Then Uganda lost about 60 people. And several other occurrences have happened. The Al-Shabaab militants as well and terrorists have been arrested along with because of several crimes they are in. But yes, any Ugandan, wherever they are, should be a bit concerned. But even still, there should be a sense of strength that Uganda has tried to move steps towards countering terrorism over the several years since the 2010 occurrence. And even still, they're not putting their guard down just yet. Quite a lot has been done in terms of vigilance and adding several of the add-ons onto countering terrorism.
And do citizens in Uganda, people on the streets, do they feel safe as a result of these efforts by the government, as a result of the measures that have actually been taken by the government forces?
One of the initiatives that the government took, of course, was to ensure that the public themselves do the policing. So wherever somebody is, they're very cautious of what is around them, anything that is left unattended to. So that in itself was the first way to ensure that any occurrence of this nature is avoided. Then, of course, the add-ons to that of were how much the government in itself put in the Joint Anti-Terrorism Task Force, which was created to counter this kind of things. So at a particular point in time, any Ugandan will definitely feel safe, but not quite safe as such, because you can never know when this will happen, when a strike will actually happen. So vigilance in itself has been a major talking point. Government protection, the anti-terrorism, and even still a lot of training for personnel. So definitely there is quite a lot, and somebody can feel that there is a sense of being safe at a point in time.
Leon Ssenyange in Uganda tonight, bringing us that reaction from another of Kenya's neighbours. Thank you so much for joining us on SABC News.